Yeah, hello and welcome to another update video about GALA. GALA continues to be in the corrective price channel to the downside. There isn't really a change in the forecast from yesterday. I think at the moment the downside potential is still there. It has reacted though yesterday it was, no, on Saturday it reacted to our support area, to the 50% Fibonacci retracement. However, nothing substantial yet, and to be honest, you can see that quite clearly actually here, even on the 4-hour chart, that the move to the upside was clearly in 3 waves. I can go to the 1-hour chart. We see that in a little bit more detail. I mean, surely this could always be some kind of a diagonal pattern, but in my opinion, it lends itself more to the idea that it hasn't bottomed yet. But if it breaks above the recent high, which would be here at 4.26 cents, we have to consider that a low is in. You always have to expect it at any time when a coin drops into these support areas, because this is where they can bottom. And this one is quite large because it is the area where a larger wave finishes. So this basically is the wave which corrects the entire move and the entire wave, which moved up from since the end of December to the end of January, and then since then we have been coming down. And in terms of timing, that's really good, because if you look at sort of where are we time-wise, yeah, if the rally really took a month basically, then the correction is now taken basically the same length, and that is sort of what you would expect. So I think if it's not bottomed, it should be nearly there. I mean, it's now in the support area. It has dropped since this high already like 37%. That's sort of what I would say is sort of the minimum it would do normally for a wave 2. And it's hit the 50% retracement obviously here. We can just double check how they were drawn. Yeah, no, that's all good. That's all correct. And yeah, I wouldn't be surprised though to see one more low, because if it drops below the weekend low, then it has a chance to get to the next fib level at 3.37 cents. That would be pretty much in line with that corrective price channel here, because what you often see in these zigzag corrections, and I see it as a zigzag, that we came down in 5 waves here. We rallied in basically a B wave, and we're now coming down in a C wave. Yeah, this is sort of reasonably what you have to expect, also because we made a new low here, lower than the A wave. Yeah. Otherwise, I would say, okay, we have a chance to put a higher B wave in. I mean, theoretically, it can still do that, do something like this before we come down. But for now, because we made a new low, and as long as we stay below the last swing high, I would rather be focused on the downside, because we haven't reached the bottom and the low of this channel yet, and because the upside is at best a diagonal. I mean, it's possible that it's bottomed again, but you would then want to see some kind of a confirmation. Now it needs to follow through, and so far it hasn't followed through. We always need a signal. It's pulled back, yeah, okay, you know, possible reversal, sure. But really, has it done anything different to what it did here or here? Not yet, okay? So therefore, we need to still be on our toes here. This could still break down easily. Exception would be if we now break impulsively above 4.26 cents, then I would give it more weight, you know, the idea that it has bottomed, but then it would still need to break out of the corrective price channel. That's really what we want to see. And if it has bottomed, and if it bottoms, then obviously the idea would be that it rallies in an impulse in a 3rd wave. Always consider this could also just be an A, B, C, or 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. But the C wave or the wave 3, you know, you can treat them sort of as very similar. And either you trade the C wave or the wave 3 if you choose to scale into this support area here. Yeah. What would be a target for that next larger wave to the upside? So that would be quite substantial in my opinion. We'd be talking here about round about, well, at least 11.4 cents. Yeah. So this is sort of quite decent in terms of reward to risk. But I primarily would at the moment say that we are going to see one more low, while we need to be open to the idea that we've bottomed, because we've now reached target. Okay, so over the last week, the idea was that we go lower, lower, lower. We've hit the support area. Now we see if we can indeed bottom. I did show you in the last video that we reached here also the first ideal target for a C wave. So there's obviously a way to calculate Fibonacci retracements, and these are the support areas, but you can also, that's sometimes more accurate, look at the length of the A wave, compare it to the length of the C wave, and you ideally would be looking for either the 61.8 extension, that's sort of the minimum target for the C wave, and that was reached. That's why we're hovering here and yeah, holding support. The more ideal target, I would say, is sort of down here, the 1-to-1 ratio at 3.05 cents actually. That would point, exactly towards the channel support. It depends on how fast we come down, right? So there is support here at 3.36 cents and then 3.06. I'm actually going to add that as a dotted line to the chart, because that would be actually a real target in our support area for the wave 2. Yeah, and that's my update about GALA. I hope you liked the update. If you did, please hit the like button, leave a comment and subscribe. And if you really like the content, then please check out the channel membership. Thanks a lot for watching. Bye-bye.